What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Logan movie video. So I've done my reaction and my trailer breakdown to the brand new Logan trailer, and to be honest it does look really good. It looks like they're going for a more of an adult look and feel to the film. We're not getting the whole huge X-Men spectacle with lots of CGI, etc. We're going to be getting a brutal and hard-hitting film, which I'm very excited to see. It looks like they've very much taken the reins off Hugh Jackman and the Wolverine character, and they're going to go as violent as possible in their last Wolverine film. That is, if it is the last Wolverine film. It's definitely the last Logan film, for definitely. But is it the last Wolverine film? That's another video for another time, because obviously we've got X-23. But the question is, there is rumblings that this isn't actually set in the main X-Men timeline. So cast your minds back to the early 2000s when we had the original comic book movie renaissance. We had X-Men and Spider-Man come out very close to each other, and both had two sequels, and the second sequel was arguably better than the first. But the second sequel, so Spider-Man 3, was just awful. And then we had X3, which was atrocious. We had a Dark Phoenix storyline which seemingly just was pulled out of someone's ass. We had Patrick Stewart's character Charles Xavier die, and the film was just awful, and everyone seemed to forget about X-Men movies for a very long time. Obviously, until we had the Matthew Vaughn film. So next up, we had X-Men First Class with relatively unknown stars James McAvoy and of course Jennifer Lawrence, and as these films went on, their stock considerably rose. So we had a sort of new timeline, but this was meant to be a prequel story explaining just what happened between Professor Xavier and Magneto. And it was weird seeing Mystique as a good person on the team. Now, this was a very good film, and I absolutely loved it to bits. And then this then spawned Bryan Singer coming back to the franchise for some reason, when people criticised him for kind of killing the franchise. He came back to try and salvage it. Now, Days of Future Past, I would say, is my favourite of this new trilogy, this kind of new class trilogy, because I thought X-Men Apocalypse was abysmal. But this one I really loved, just because, well, I loved Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And obviously, at the end of Days of Future Past, we got the timeline reset, where, well, we've got Jean Grey still alive, and Logan wakes up in the Xavier School for Gifted Children, to paraphrase the name of that school there. But this is the brand new timeline that we received, and to be honest, I expected X-Men Apocalypse to feature all of these people, but then it didn't. For some reason, unbeknownst to them, they kind of ignored that this brand new timeline actually happened. So what's going on with the Logan film? So the story of Old Man Logan was pretty much a standalone story, considering it was set so far in the future. So maybe this is what they're talking about when they are saying that this is going to take place in a brand new timeline. Because what's weird is that Hugh Jackman has said that when you see the full movie, you'll understand. Not only is it a different, in terms of timeline and tone, it's a slightly different universe. It's actually a different paradigm that will become clear, which is probably going to explain why they have a brand new version of Caliban. And, well, he said that I said this was my last one, and they said, make the movie you want to make. And so Jim and I had this blank canvas. We wanted to make something really different. definitely tonally different. I kept thinking The Wrestler, Unforgiven, it's a standalone movie in many ways. It's not really beholden to timelines and storylines in the other movies. Obviously, Patrick Stewart was in there, so we have some crossover, but it feels very different and very fresh. Following the timelines becomes a chess game that you try to serve, which actually doesn't tell a story, and it's sort of been a bit all over the place. I'm not critical of it. X-Men was the first movie really in a comic book. No one thought there'd be another, and there were different directors, different offshoots. So what I think happened here is that, well, Hugh Jackman got his wish to make whatever the hell he wanted, but it has to be set in a different timeline, a sort of soft, different timeline. Because, well, if they want to make future films, they're going to want to not have to lead up to this where all of the X-Men have perished. So what they could do after this is possibly make an X-23 film. So also in the comics as well, in the Secret Wars storyline, we actually had Old Man Logan come in to the modern continuity. So while I don't think that will happen because Hugh Jackman is obviously, this is his last turn, but we could possibly see the X-23 child actor here come into our main timeline, which is a bit of a stretch, but then again I think this is just a standalone story. They wanted to make a very gritty story, and this is just a possible future to the X universe. But that's it for this video. Please do drop a like, please do subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.